Small farmer Ronald Sealy operates Ronseaco Vegetable Farm at Sturgis, St. Thomas, where his primary crop is Christophines. While he's happy with where he is today, he admits that he did not make the best use of his time in school or in the years immediately afterwards.
After leaving St. James Secondary School, which I did absolutely nothing, I then came on the streets and lived with the fellas for about 3 years. But then I began to realize that this street life ain't really making any sense. I'm too intelligent for this, so I decided I'm going to learn a skill, which was mechanics. So then I left the streets and I went to skills training for 9 months. And after leaving skills training, I went straight into the Polytechnic for a 4-year program in the same automotive engineering.
It was during his apprenticeship at a local company that he made the decision to work for himself. He started out as a mechanic.
I guess it was a dream from a youngster. And then after coming through the system and working for people and see how people treat you, I decided that I have what it takes to be my own boss and to start my own project. It was not intimidating to start on my own because I find that I'm a fairly confident guy. But it was a challenge trying to find some place to set up the mechanics and that kind of stuff. That was the biggest challenge in that part.
Bigger challenges came as well, and eventually he decided to shift to farming.
I decided to shift from mechanics to farming for 2 reasons. One, to keep the mechanic business running is kind of expensive. You have to be constantly upgrading. You have to have a lot of infrastructure in place for the mechanics. Farming is a little different. Plus, I had a vendor friend. He used to sell Christophines a lot. And he was telling me a lot about the amount of money that you can make from Christophines. And it's a kind of low maintenance crop as well. So I decided I'm going to try it. And I tried and it really worked out for me.
Ronald's first contact with the lending agency Fund Access came while he was still a mechanic.
I went to Fund Access because I needed financial assistance for a diagnostic tool when I was doing mechanics on my own. Like 2 months after the warranty ran out on the diagnostic tool, it broke down. So that was a challenge. So then when I decided to go into farming, it was just an easy transition from the mechanic side into the farming with Fund Access. And that went really smooth. My relationship with Fund Access throughout the course of the business was excellent. The training with like bookkeeping and marketing and stuff like that went really well. I also took advantage of a technical assistant that Fund Access have in place for clients that once you qualify, this would be some financing that you don't have to repay. And that helped me tremendously with my water system for the farm.
The small farmer says there are advantages and disadvantages to being an entrepreneur.
Well, a few of the advantages of working for myself is that I control my own time. And by saying I control my own time is not to say that I am lazy, because sometimes I'm up at 2:30 working. Sometimes I work for 14 hours a day in the sun, in the rain. But I control when I do that. I don't have nobody beating down my back saying it have to be done this time or it have to be done this way. I figure out the best way for me and I do it that way. And on the other hand, some of the negatives in this business is that you work hard, you put in a lot of time and money into a product, then you take the product to market, and then the customers then want to make sport at the product or at you. Want to pay what them feel like and when them feel like, but it can't work that way. So that's one of the biggest challenges within this whole farming business. A lot of customers don't appreciate how hard they work to bring product to market.
Overall, though, he's happy with what he has achieved so far.
I would say that is a great success for me. I would not regret shifting from mechanics to farming at all. And I would like to encourage more young people to get into farming, because the last thing we're going to stop doing is eating. My next move is to go into a different field, mainly sugarcane production, for the purposes of cane juice and not sugar. So I'm looking forward to working with Fund Access again to get that project on stream.
And as one who graduated from the block, Ronald has this advice for those who remain.
My advice for the fellas on the block is to get it and look for something positive to do with their time. Because if you're on the streets waiting for 1,000 pounds of marijuana to land for you to make this amount of millions, you're living in a dream world. It's not like that. Or you will be heading for St. Philip, which is does, and it don't make sense.
Fund Access client Ronald Sealy enjoying success as a vegetable farmer. For more information on the services offered by Fund Access, please call 228-1366 or visit the website www.fundaccess.org.
We welcome your feedback on our programs. You may email your comments to bgisfeedback@barbados.gov.bb